So I came to a really cute coffee shop. I decided to dress up and just come out, and had a long couple weeks, and I wanted to just unwind. So I got ready. I got my coffee. I got a Nutella cappuccino. So it's actually really good. And it's super cold here, so like having that warm thing is just so cozy. And we are now driving to the gym. I sat for a while and I was kind of like, I'm gonna just enjoy the coffee. I brought my Kindle and I was like, I'm gonna read my book, and I did do that for like a minute. And now we're it's so loud inside coffee shops, which is so wild to me, because I literally had to have like my AirPods on with coffee shop sounds so I could like focus on my book, because it was so flippin' loud. I'm gonna just like finish my cappuccino and like go to the gym. Like that is the goal. That's what's happening now. I feel like going to the gym really makes me feel, it's like a stress relief almost in a way, and I just feel like not as overwhelmed with work and stuff. Because for me, like, I work a 9 to 5, but like it doesn't always end at 5. So it can be like hectic workloads and stuff. So just having that kind of thing in between that kind of like balances you out is nice to have, I feel like. Although I probably shouldn't be having coffee this late, because it's like, everybody says like, oh, working from home, it's like, oh my god, that's so lucky. And I'm not denying the privilege that comes with it, right? Like, I do understand it's comfortable, but I always feel like you work more when you work from home. Like, no lie, like you end up working so much more because you don't have that cap and that filter of like, oh, it's 5:30 p.m, like you gotta go home. You stay online longer and stuff too, I feel like. So yeah, I don't know, but going to the gym helps me feel like I'm like stretching out like my back muscles, and I'm like doing the things that I need to do, not to like have poor posture and like the ergonomics of it and stuff, not to bore you out and stuff. But I also loved like doing like little things for myself, and by little things I mean like things that are just like rooted in just self-care, me time. I feel like a lot of the times, like, I'll be talking to friends and they'll be like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, how do you just like sit there and like not have the urge to like how do you like find interest in doing things by yourself? And my answer is always just like, I'm like, I don't know why that's such a weird thing. Like, to me that's not strange at all. Like, I like doing things solo in a way. I also do find it to be very therapeutic, and I think in life, not to go on this tangent or anything, but if you can't spend time with yourself, you're definitely not ready to spend time with another person. Like, that's big facts. Like, and I think how many of us can even say that we are comfortable being in our own presence or hanging out with ourselves? Like, that's not even a thing. Like, you say that to somebody and they're gonna give you the weirdest look ever. Like, what the hell are you on? And it's definitely not something that happens overnight either. Like, you gotta like work towards it. You gotta truly like get comfortable with it. You gotta truly just go through the awkward phases with it. But I promise you it's worth it, because the best relationship you'll build in your life is a relationship with yourself, obviously after like the key prime relationships that you build. And it's just, yeah, it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna come to fruition, and you're not gonna, other people in your life are gonna add to your life. They're gonna be compliments, but it's not like you're not gonna be able to live without them, because at some point everybody has a life, okay? Everybody gets busy, everybody has a life, and you're bound to feel like people just don't have as much time as they used to for you anymore, and that's fine. That's a valid feeling. But to cope with it, like, what are you gonna do? Like, somebody's not gonna put their life on a back burner for you, And I'm not saying everybody will do that, but I think it's better to be equipped to handle solitude, and it's not a bad thing to handle solitude. If we continuously rely on other people to fill in the voids in our lives, like, that's not a safe place to be in, to be very honest. So like, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like, I wish this is something I did much earlier on in my 20s, but better late than never, where I was just kind of like, it is what it is. Like, I'm gonna do things that make me happy. I'm gonna be spending time with myself, and if that is weird to you, I don't care, you know? Like, I've come to a point where my friends are like so used to it, so they're like, oh, what are you doing with yourself tonight, you know? But yeah, it is a crucial part. And there's this saying that I really love, that the most important project that you're going to work on in life is yourself. Like, you are your own biggest project. So once you live with that mentality, like, imagine you have a project and you're just so passionate about it, you're going to want to do everything to make it the most perfect project, to express your ideas, your creativity. So if you start treating yourself like that, the world is literally your oyster. You're going to want to do everything to be the best version of yourself, whether that's mentally, whether that's emotionally or physically. And I think mental and emotional capacity go hand in hand, and they are so crucial. They're so crucial because life kicks you in more ways than one. And those that are comfortable in dealing with trauma, unfortunate situations, things not going their way, tend to do better, tend to not get kicked as hard by life, tend to not suffer as much. You know, suffering is inevitable, you know, like everybody's bound to suffer to some extent in their lives. But although you can't control the very being of suffering, you can control the degree to which you suffer, and you do that by creating that relationship or bond with yourself. And I think also filtering out the environments and the people that are around you. You know, some of the close people in my life, and, you know, including me, at some point I was this person, but that I've seen suffer the most have been those that suffer because of what people around them think, or what people around them say about them, or what they think they say, or what they think, you know. And detaching yourself of that, like, detachment is truly power. And detachment, step one, building that relationship with yourself, getting comfortable in your own presence, getting comfortable being solo, because nothing wrong with it. Anybody that sees that as being weird clearly is not capable of doing that. And hey, at the end of the day, I don't have any point to prove to you, you know, like, solitude is power. And then second, being mindful of what you let into your bubble, what you let into your energies and stuff, right? Like, you don't want to let anybody and everybody into your mind, because your mind is like a protected space. And if you do that, then you're gonna have this polluted mind that you're living in, which everybody just infiltrates their thoughts and their opinions and like their unsolicited advices, and that ultimately leads to the highest degrees of suffering that we see amongst people, where people don't have the control of what they should let others say or do or impose in their lives, versus where they should just kind of be like, you know, you can say what you want, I'm going to do what I want, or I don't really care what you think, you know. And this doesn't have to be like an explicit saying. This could even be something that's gauged through your intentions, you know. But it's important to do that, because once you start letting people in your life and letting them comment and say things, there really is no limit to it. There is no ending point. There is no, okay, now I've had enough. No, then people get into the habit, they get accustomed, like, oh, this person, they will literally let anybody and everybody say anything about them. So like, why am I then gonna be conscious about what I'm saying to them? Because clearly they're inviting me in, they're letting me in, they're saying, hey, get in my business, you know. And that's something you need to be protective of. And detachment is the answer to that 150% every single time, you know. And as a person that was a massive overthinker, this video is all over the place. This is like driving thoughts. As a person that was a massive overthinker, this is something that ran through my mind a lot. Like, this is something I thought about a lot, and eventually you move past it for the sake of yourself, and, you know, you realize it's just not productive. So what are the lessons here? A, value me time, learn to spend time with yourself. B, don't let others overimpose themselves into your lives. And C, nothing is too personal. Detachment is the key.